Clara stood frozen, her breath quick and shallow. A chilling sensation spread from her feet to her neck. She needed to get out, but her legs felt anchored by an unnameable fear. Then, another sound broke the silence. A soft, faint laugh, like the wind brushing past her ear. The laughter echoed in the stillness, delicate yet haunting, as if it didn't belong to this world. Clara trembled, retreating a step, as her eyes fixed on the desk where the creaking chair had sounded just moments ago. Now, the space was unnervingly quiet. The air thickened, an unseen presence pressing against her senses. Swallowing hard, she tried to steady herself, but that laughter lingered, echoing in her mind like a whisper from the abyss. She tried to move, but her legs felt weighted by the invisible force. Seconds dragged into eternity before something shifted on Hailey's desk. A stack of papers slid slowly to the floor, as though an unseen hand had brushed them away. Clara stiffened. There was no mistaking it now. Something was in the room with her. A sudden icy draft washed over her, making her shiver. The fluorescent lights flickered erratically, plunging the office into alternating flashes of light and shadow, where ominous shapes seemed to dance on the walls. She couldn't take it anymore. Grabbing her bag, she prepared to bolt. But just as she turned, the door slammed shut with a deafening bang, so forceful the room seemed to shake. The sound wasn't random or mechanical. It felt deliberate, purposeful, as if an unseen force had thrown its full weight into sealing her in. "No, this can't be happening," she whispered, her eyes wide with terror, locked on the door. A wave of cold terror coursed through her, making every hair on her body stand on end. She wanted to run, but her legs refused to obey, as though they were bound by the oppressive force filling the room. Step by heavy step, Clara edged backward. But then, a chilling noise came from right beside her, a sound so close it was almost a whisper in her ear. The voice was soft, yet it pierced her soul like a dagger, each word as cold as ice. "Don't leave." Clara froze, paralyzed by fear. Her heart raced erratically, and it felt as though her blood had turned to ice. Her trembling hands clutched her bag as her wide eyes darted to the computer screen. Something was moving on the monitor. A string of crimson text suddenly appeared against the dark background. "Why did you abandon me?" The words weren't just on the screen. They reverberated in her mind, each syllable stabbing her with an inexplicable guilt. Clara's breathing quickened as she fought to comprehend the surreal horror before her. The screen flickered violently, then went pitch black. In the darkness, a face emerged on the monitor, a face she could never forget. Hailey's. She stood there, clad in a white blouse stained with blood, her lifeless, hollow eyes staring through the screen. Her hair was a tangled mess, cascading over her pale, ghostly face. Her lips twisted into a grotesque, chilling smile. Clara's body shook uncontrollably as she screamed in terror, bolting toward the door. She yanked on the handle, but it wouldn't budge, as though locked by an unseen force. The oppressive darkness of the room pressed in on her, suffocating her with despair. That cold, mocking laughter filled the air once more, louder this time, echoing from every shadowy corner. The lights extinguished completely, plunging the room into impenetrable darkness. Clara could feel it, the presence of Hailey, unbearably close. An icy breath caressed the back of her neck, sending a paralyzing chill through her spine. She clenched her eyes shut, praying for it all to disappear. But then, that voice returned, right by her ear, carrying an eerie finality. "I'm back. And this time, you'll never escape." At that moment, A freezing hand gripped her neck, the force relentless and seething with malice. The grip tightened, dragging her into an endless abyss of shadow. Clara struggled desperately, but it was futile. That vengeful presence pulled her deeper into a darkness she knew she'd never escape. Part 2. Tyler's story. The Deadly Screen. Late at night, the IT department on the 6th floor was eerily empty, except for Tyler, the company's IT technician. The dim glow of a single desk lamp stretched grotesque shadows along the walls, adding to the oppressive atmosphere. The ticking of the wall clock seemed unnaturally loud, echoing in the suffocating silence, each tick striking like a hammer on Tyler's nerves. He sighed softly, his eyes shadowed with fatigue. Everything around him felt heavy, not just from the workload, but from an unshakable chill creeping into his every breath, sending a shiver down his spine. Tyler had been called in to fix a system error that had caused persistent server disruptions, bringing the company's operation to a halt throughout the day. This wasn't the first time he had worked through the night, but something about this time felt off, uneasy. Sitting before the computer, Tyler began his diagnostic work. Lines of code scrolled across the black screen, resembling writhing serpents. He worked intently, his fingers moving deftly over the keyboard. Suddenly the screen flickered, froze, and then displayed a strange image. It was the face of a woman. Her eyes stared wide, hollow, and empty, and her mouth gaped open as if screaming silently. Her body appeared mangled, soaked in blood. Tyler recoiled, his heartbeat hammering against his chest. He forced himself to breathe deeply, muttering, "It's probably just a glitch or some kind of virus scrambling the system." Standing up, his legs shaky, Tyler tried to reassure himself that it was some cruel prank. Perhaps the system had been hacked, or someone had planted a program to frighten him as a joke. Probably just those mischievous employees messing around, he thought, though the uneasy weight in his chest refused to lift. Tyler quickly dove back into the system, meticulously reviewing log files and data. He found nothing unusual. Just a minor bug, he concluded, attempting to dismiss the gnawing unease spreading through the unsettling stillness. Needing a break, he decided to make some coffee. As he left his desk and moved towards the kitchenette at the corner of the room, each of his steps echoed softly yet ominously in the silence, intensifying the tension in the air. Suddenly, a cold shiver raced down his back. He felt as though invisible eyes were locked onto him, scrutinizing his every move from the shadows. Whipping around, Tyler scanned the room, his eyes darting to every corner. Everything appeared as it had been, silent and still. But the silence only magnified the sense of dread crawling under his skin. His gaze lingered on the dark corner near the computer, but nothing stirred. "Just my nerves," he muttered shakily, his voice betraying his attempt at self-reassurance. He tried convincing himself it was just fatigue and overwork playing tricks on his mind. Yet deep inside, the unease gnawed relentlessly. He quickly prepared his coffee, hoping a jolt of caffeine would clear his head. But as he returned to his desk, the icy tension behind him persisted. It felt as if the darkness just beyond the lamplight had grown thicker, inching closer and enveloping the room. Tyler could feel it. Unseen eyes coldly fixated on him, following every movement. The shadows along the edges of the room seemed alive, silently pulsating with a menacing presence. The air grew denser, almost suffocating, as if something malevolent lurked in the oppressive silence, waiting for the moment to reveal itself.